On April 2nd, which President Donald Trump termed Liberation Day, the US imposed a sweeping set of tariffs on every country in the world. Some, such as China, have imposed reciprocal tariffs on the US, potentially setting off a global trade war, while others, like Europe and the UK, are still negotiating and biding their time. But is the UK set to actually benefit from the global trade war set off by Donald Trump's tariffs? Here are 7 ways the UK might be safer than we think, according to investment bank Berenberg. Firstly, the UK is facing the lowest possible tariff on goods going to the US at just 10%, compared to 20% for the EU and as high as 46% for countries like Vietnam. Secondly, the UK doesn't actually export that many goods to the US. Less than 2% of UK GDP is sent to the US, compared to 3.2% for the Eurozone. This means that the 10% tariffs are only expected to directly reduce GDP by less than 0.1%, according to government calculations. The low tariff rate also means that some UK producers could gain market share from worse-hit countries, while international companies could relocate to the UK to avoid higher tariffs. According to the investment bank Berenberg, while the UK will still be affected by a wider slowdown in the global economy, the UK is well positioned. British households have a low exposure to stocks, which have been falling rapidly, but a high exposure to property, which will start to do well if central banks begin to cut interest rates. In addition, British consumers are already very cautious, with a savings rate at the highest proportion of their income since 2010, excluding the pandemic, leaving them well prepared for any slowdown in growth. Another reason why the UK might be safer than we think is that a drop in the global economy will also lead to a drop in energy prices. Gas prices are already down 6% and oil is down 8% over the last month, meaning that households should have more money in their pocket, and a drop in prices would make it easier for the Bank of England to cut interest rates. And last but not least, the UK government has become more stable, with a big majority and a plan to cut the deficit. While it's still large, it is forecast to be significantly smaller than some other countries like the US and France, which might attract back global investors that have been driven away by the volatility of Brexit and the mini-budget. Do you think the UK could actually benefit from Trump's trade war? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.